Good afternoon, students. Today we will take up the second poem, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. I have already told you about Robert Frost when we studied the first poem, Dust of Snow. Right? Fire and Ice is a symbolic poem. Okay, first I'll read the poem and you listen it carefully. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. This is a symbolic poem where fire stands for emotion of desire and ice stands for emotion of hatred. Right? These both, fire and ice, are the emotions of human beings. Right? The poet here, he is analyzing about the end of the world and he deals with two possible solutions, right? Two possible causes by which the earth could end. First, he says that the earth can end with fire. Okay. Now, fire is the emotion of desire, desire, passion, right? Greed, avarice. The desire that we have, the small desires that we have, suppose you have the desire that you want a new dress or you want a new book, right? That is a desire. It's okay. Sometimes desire is also positive when you desire to achieve something in your life. But when this desire turns into greed or the avarice or the lust, it becomes destructive. Because when it becomes greed, when it becomes lust, you don't care about others. You want your desire to be fulfilled, right? And that desire, you must have heard that there is heat of desire, right? Passion. He is burning with desire. So burning here is fire within, right? That is desire. Now when it changes into greed or the lust, it can be for anything. It can be for money, it can be for power. We can take the examples of the kings who wanted to extend their empire. And who fought? The soldiers. Who lost their lives? The soldiers. Right? So the soldiers lost their life for the achievement of power of the kings. Right? You can take the example of Hitler. You can take the example of world wars in the world. So these were the examples of lust, greed, where people wanted power and that made them do whatever they wanted. Now these both are self-destructing human emotions. Now poet here says that he has very closely been associated with the fiery desire and he considers it capable of bringing destruction. He says, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Right? That means he has tasted the desire and that is why he wants the world to end in fire. Right? But then he says that if the world has to perish twice, perish means to end, to destroy. If it has to end twice, is it possible? Can you destroy something twice? No, it is not possible, right? But he says, if this happens, if the world perishes again, he says, I know enough of hate. So here, ice stands for hate. When a person hates someone, he becomes emotionless, right? He doesn't consider that person or that thing to be as he wants, and so he starts hating that. There may be reason, right, to hate, but hate is destructive, it's always destructive, right? It is slow and steady, right? It causes silent damage to human beings, right? Sometimes people have hatred for such a long period of life, and sometimes throughout their life they hate someone. So this also brings destruction. Fire brings rapid destruction, right? Whereas ice brings slow and steady and silent damage, right? But both bring destruction. By both fire and ice, the world can end, right? The philosophy is that we let our emotions rule us. We are influenced by our own emotions, right? And if we don't control them, then it's sure that they are going to bring us all on the verge of chaos or destruction. Everyone has a desire, everyone has hatred, but that should be such that it does not bring destruction, right? Desire is positive also, desire is negative, right? But hatred is never positive. Hatred is always negative. It slowly burns you up. It slowly makes you insensitive, inhuman, right? You must have observed the change in the behavior of a person when one starts hating someone. We become insensitive, cold towards that person, right? If anything that is done by that person is slightly wrong, we are so intolerant that we try to exaggerate that, okay? And when we try to exaggerate that, that is hatred. We try to bring that person down, right? Okay, so this hatred, this insensitivity also kills humans, right? And slowly it brings destruction to the world. So here the poet says that fire and ice both are destructive. None of them is good for us. Now we will take up some word meaning, right? Desire. Desire means strong wish, right? Perish. Perish means to die or to finish, end up. Suffice. Suffice means adequate or enough, right? Desire is the will, right? The poet has compared fire with desire. Perish is to end, where he says, if the world perishes twice. And suffice, he says, the ice is also adequate to end up the world. Now we'll take up some literary devices, okay? The figures of speech used here. First we'll take up alliteration. Some say, right? In the first paragraph, the alliteration is used twice, right? Some say and some say. And then the third one is favor fire. Repetition of SS in the first one and FF in the second one, right? A second one is symbolism, right? Where fire is a symbol of desire and ice is the symbol of hate, right? The third is imagery. If you are looking at it, you can pause the video and note down everything, right? Imagery, okay? Imagery is, there is some impact. When you listen to the word fire, there is a burning sensation, right? Or the pain that we have when something burns, right? That pain and the burning sensation that is caused by fire. When you hear ice, there is feeling of coldness, right? There is feeling of coldness, the insensitiveness, and that is why these are imagery, right? So alliteration, symbolism and imagery, right? The rhyme scheme is A B B C B C B, right? This is the rhyme scheme of the poem. So this poem, which deals with two human feelings, fire and ice, that is desire and hatred. Okay. It is also said that Robert Frost once met his scientist friend, and he obviously asked the question, how is the world going to end? He said that it may happen that the sun would be so hot that the earth would burn with that heat, right? The fire. Or it may happen that the sun will become so cold that everything on this earth will become cold like ice, and the whole world will be turned into ice. But when the fire will be there, it will be very fast a destruction, whereas if the ice would be there, it will be cold, it will be slow, right? So he says that this poem is influenced by the conversation that he had with his scientific friend, right? And that is why he wrote this poem, but he compared these two things with the human feelings, human emotions. Thank you.